I'm Chelsea, and I'm your anchor for Monday, September 30th. Please stand for the pledge. Today is National Chewing Gum Day. Your lunch options for today are hamburger, cheeseburger, wrapless burrito, or turkey and daily sandwich. Your sides are oven-baked fries, fresh fruit, or a veggie tray. In today's news, a fighting robot is now on eBay. Now to CNN with the video. In other news, there was a shark scare in Tampa Bay, Florida, that turned out to be a hoax. Now to NBC with the story.
A major early season snowstorm is pounding the Rockies today. Montana is getting the worst of it. Parts of the state have been hit with more than 20 inches of snow, with forecasts of up to 4 feet by tonight.
Shock and sadness in the Houston area as a trailblazing deputy is ambushed and killed. Deputy Sandeep Dhaliwal was in the middle of a routine traffic stop when he turned.
Well, that was the wrong story. As you know, last week our 8th graders went to JA Jobs Park. What you may not know is that Belzer was featured on Channel 13 News. Here's what aired on TV last week.
A different kind of career that you got to see it to become it and to achieve it.
Yes, nearly 10,000 kids, including these 8th graders from Belzer Middle School, headed to Job Spark, for some hands-on exposure to different careers.
In fact, it's a huge event. It is sponsored every year by Junior Achievement.
And our Sarah Jones tagged along.
Most of us remember Career Day being, well, a little like this.
Pretty boring.
But students and teachers say hands-on exposure to jobs,
It makes it more interesting instead of them just telling you what it is.
even virtually,
Pretty fun.
It was amazing.
can make a difference.
Kids in 8th grade really need to see themselves in whatever they're learning about. So this is a really great opportunity for our students to see themselves in work and understand what the next steps are for them to prepare for representation in those fields.
About 150 businesses represented from across 8 industry sectors, representing high demand careers here in central Indiana.
At 13 or 14, many kids are unaware of a lot of jobs, much less have any idea what they want to be.
I don't know yet.
But exposure
I've seen a lot of things that I'm now more interested in that I came here, like especially animals. I really enjoy animals.
can give direction.
The health and science, life science part over here.
We've just left Job Spark at the Indiana State Fairground. The kids have had lunch. Now we're at Belzer Middle School, and we're about to find out, so what did the kids think of the event? What careers sparked their interests?
Jot some things down, and then we're going to come around and kind of talk to you and hear some of your ideas about what you learned and how we can apply that to our careers.
I learned what was in a PC.
Okay, in your group.
Yeah, the health was my favorite.
Yeah.
The The field trip sparked ideas. Now back in the classroom, the lessons focus on how to turn those ideas into careers and the next steps into high school and beyond. In Indianapolis, Sarah Jones, Eyewitness News.
Oh, that was a great story, Sarah. Thank you so much.
And this was the 4th annual Job Spark for...
Now to Jessica with the sports and weather.
Thank you, Chelsea. Over the weekend, the humidity raised up. Today will be a high of 91 degrees with a low of 67, with a humidity of 61. There will be a 10% chance of rain, making it feel like June. For the next 3 weeks, we will be feeling a heat wave. The last weekend and last week games played. The results came in. Girls golf finished in the top 3. Girls soccer won. Also boys soccer won. Volleyball won. 7th grade football won. Boys tennis won. Nice job, Bruins. Now tonight we'll have a total of 3 games. Girls soccer will play New Palestine at 5:15. Boys soccer will play against New Palestine at 6:30. Also, boys tennis was moved today. They will play against Creston and play here, home of the Bruins. Now back to our anchors.
Belzer Middle School collects box tops. Please start bringing in any box tops you have to your college prep class, or have your parents scan them for our school's credit. Tomorrow night is Dine to Donate at the IHOP on 56th Street. Ask your parents about eating dinner there. Congratulations again to the Challengers team who won the fundraiser competition. They will receive donuts during college prep on Thursday. Next week is Yearbook Spirit Week. Watch for posters around the building to tell you more about each day's activities. The quote of the day is from Rumi, saying, "Everything that is made beautiful and fair and lovely is made for the eye of one who sees." Today's random fact is that every year about 98% of atoms are replaced. Today's celebrity birthday is Nathan Arenas, who is a TV actor on Bunked. Here is today's joke of the day. Why do fish live in salt water?
I don't know why.
Because pepper makes them sneeze. Now to Mr. Harsha for the rest of the morning announcements. Thanks. Have a great day, Bruins.
Good morning, Bruins. Thank you to our anchors. Great job this morning. I also want to say thank you to all of our 8th graders and our teachers, administrators, counselors, everybody that worked so hard to put our Job Spark trip last week together. As you can see, it's a big deal that we were a part of that, and I'm just so proud that we had so many students participating in that activity. And students, I challenge you now that you've been exposed to some of those ideas for career opportunities after school, that you start thinking about what areas you're interested in and start taking classes and investigating what those careers are all about, just to be well informed. As you begin selecting classes in the next 2 years for high school, you'll be wanting to pay attention to what pathways will get you to that desired career. So I just want to challenge you for that. I also want to thank you all for your behavior. I did get a great email from one of the organizers of the event that said we were one of the schools with one of the highest numbers, largest group size, basically, of schools that were there, and that you were very well behaved and represented our school well. And again, that's what I asked you to do, so I really appreciate that. One final announcement today before I give you an opportunity to get all your stuff ready for the day. Number one, the grading period ends this Friday. Seems hard to believe, guys, but this Friday, the grading period will end. So if you have any missing assignments, you have any late work, you have any upcoming tests, you have anything going on, please make sure that you are giving it your best and that we're finishing strong. Teachers, I shared with you in my newsletter when you have to have all your grades in next week, but again, the official date that the grading period ends is this Friday. I also want to talk about student IDs. Guys, I appreciate your patience. We've had some issues with the Life Touch company getting our IDs just right, but we're going to try to pass them out today. Your English teacher will pass out your ID today, so be patient. When you get to English class, your teacher will be passing those out. Please remember, again, guys, that we are attempting to make sure that each student on the same academic team has the same colored lanyard. So it will be important that we double check that which team you're on and that you have the correct colored lanyard. What I want to talk to you about today is what I mentioned last Thursday. I want to go over again today expectations for those IDs. Number one, the most important, is that you are wearing them visibly every day when you're here at school. Now guys, that is an expectation from me as your principal, our admin and counseling team here in the building, and our teachers, but this is also a district-wide expectation at Lawrence North, at Fall Creek Valley, at LC, at McKenzie. Dr. Smith's expectation is that all secondary students have an ID that identifies them as by name and also as a Lawrence Township student. So it's important that you wear those at all times. In order to make sure that we hold you that, I'm going to ask college prep teachers each morning to kind of do a scan of the classroom and make sure that students have their ID on. We also will be doing some incentives periodically for all students that are wearing it like they're supposed to. Teachers, I'm going to ask that you not allow students to have passes to the restroom or their locker or to see other teachers if they don't have their ID starting tomorrow. I think at the end of the day, 7th period teachers, we're also going to make sure that you have to have your ID in order to check out a Chromebook. And this is great practice, especially when we have a guest teacher in the building. We want to make sure we know exactly who you are and that you can prove that you are who you are before you check out that device. So that's going to be one of our expectations too. And another important thing, guys, we are going to start requiring that you have a student ID when you attend any after-school events. So if you want to go to the basketball game this winter, you're going to be asked to show that student ID when you enter. Again, we want to make sure we know who our Belzer students are, and again, that's a safety and security issue. So I think I've covered all of the different points. If you lose your ID throughout the school year, you can buy a replacement one in student services, and it's $1. And just so you know, if you need to buy a replacement at any time, you'll go to student services and they'll take your name down, and then Mrs. Neal or Mr. Landers will print you an extra and they'll bring it to you as soon as it's ready, because that does take a little bit of time to bring it up in the system and print it out. So I think that's everything about IDs. I know that's quite a bit, but I wanted to make those expectations clear. These are the exact same expectations I shared with you last week and also on my Sunday night call to your parents. So students, I would appreciate in advance your cooperation with our expectations for IDs. Let's have a great Monday.
Someone makes. A boy strokes her arm.